Because labels they're not here to educate you about their books.
No.
No.
That's their accounting. They're not gonna show you that. They're not that stupid, diba?
It started with, I want to own my masters. Yeah. I want to own my masters more than anything. I'm not giving that to anybody.
Ang hirap lang din kasi there's no institutional support. There's no government support. Walang base for those groups and pockets of alternative models to really reinforce themselves.
Because they want quantity over not only just the quality, but like also the sincerity of the artist as well too. It's really cool being independent because I feel like I can kind of do what I feel.
More and more artists have been speaking up against their labels, and the conversation on artist rights have grown louder and louder. But what is it really like to be an artist in the Philippines, especially an independent artist? Let's talk about it in today's episode of the Rolling Stone Philippines Roundtable. Joining me today are music producer Nick Lazaro, sound artist and producer Aly Cabral, producer and MC DJ Medmessiah, and singer-songwriter Wahh. Welcome everyone. Thanks again for joining us. Super interested ako to know what the realities of being an independent artist is like. Pero baka we can start from the beginning. So like with Med, what made you decide to be an independent artist? Like personal choice ba siya or parang yun lang talaga yung best option for you at that time?
For me kasi parang I've been to the labels, di ba? I've been signed before. And then parang discovering yung mga ins and outs ng mga bagay, finances, like publishing, learning about like all of these things, para siyang slavery. You don't own anything, tapos you have to do as you told, di ba? Yung music is parang tampered. So, yun, para sa akin, I decided na parang, okay, one of these days, I'm gonna make my own label, di ba? Whether successful or not, at least it's mine.
Ano yung last straw for you na parang nung pinasukan mo siya, biglang may napansin mo yung mga red flags? Pero ano yung last na parang I think okay na ako? Alas na ako
Siguro
ng
yung pinaka-red flag kasi parang I used to have parang a single but nobody knows na ako. 'Di ba? Kasi I started it parang Chabacano, tapos Tausug. Pero parang bigla siya naging pop. I don't know why, pero siguro dahil medyo dance siya. And na-discover ko na parang the track is like earning millions. But I'm only getting parang 10 to 20,000 pesos, diba? It's all over TV, strip joints, name it. It's there. Bangketa, diba? Back in the day, wala pang Spotify and So it's going to be in CDs, diba? Tapes or karaoke. And then, hindi pinapakita sa iyo yun eh. Walang open books eh. Siyempre, they see you na parang artist to. Gusto lang niya sumikat lang, di ba? Pero siyempre, as you grow old, may reality na yung life eh, that you have to pay bills, di ba? Tapos, makikita mo parang, oh shit.
So,
para akong nito, walang Vaseline, di ba? Sorry for the language, but di ba?
Okay. May I ask, like, ilang taon ka nun nung nangyayari sa ito?
I think that was 2006. Yeah.
And I guess for you guys, like August and Ali, like, ano yung initial impressions niyo of being an artist? Tapos, I'm sure kayo rin, were you guys mindful na rin at an early age na kailangan kong ingatan yung sarili ko as an artist?
Ako muna. Yes, definitely. I've never been in a major label, actually, and I've always been wary of being in a major label because of the horror stories that I hear. And then I guess my first brush of being in a label, it was still like, it's not a big one, it's still independent, but I guess it was very showbiz. Yeah. It wasn't that bad for me, although I made sure that I protected myself nga, knowing and hearing stories and stuff. But at the same time, ano ba sa experience ko?
Or
I-
what did you mean by yung very showbiz? Like pinapa-cookie cutter mold ka or more of yung proseso yung showbiz?
I think because it did the the label itself is very showbiz.
Okay.
Yeah. So parang the way they would go about things, you know, which I think for ako, my type of artist, maybe I didn't fit in that category. And I can see now that some of the artists under them nagpa-flourish naman, and I think they do well. I think for me, I like what he said, where it's like, okay, you're being told what to do. You're supposed to like, you know, be a certain way. Da 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 da. I didn't like that. I didn't like being told with my music too, and so I protected that a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
From the start pa lang.
Yeah.
Do you feel like wala namang lugi sa'yo in terms of choosing that path?
Right now, I wouldn't say lugi, kasi nga maybe if I did go into it, I knew na. If I did go into it, maybe it was me trying out new things lang din. Okay, let's see how this could work out. And if I wanted to go more popular, I guess, just to see if that would work out for me. So I did compromise a little bit, but like within my standards. Lugi in a sense where siguro, I have to think about that one properly actually. Paano ba? I wouldn't say super lugi naman. Yeah. I guess I'd have to find out. That's the kind of ongoing, actually.
It's always the end game, di ba? Okay.
So parang, hindi naman sa lugi, but mas yung nare-realize mo talaga kung ano yung what you're giving up to be independent.
Parang ganito na lang, I think. I really had to learn the ropes to protect myself. And I feel like as an artist, I'm an artist. I want to create. But I had to like, parang ammo up when it comes to my knowledge and stuff, just so like I protect myself. Yeah. So I wouldn't say lugi because I gained that, you know, and I don't think a lot of, or at least artists should start learning that. I feel. Lugi, like I said, I'd have to think about
Sige.
it. Let's
Okay.
circle back to that later.
Game. Sige. What about you, Ali? Like, ano yung experience mo even when you were in a band then and now? And I think what's nice, I guess, about following your career, parang you're not just speaking up for yourself, friend, but maraming times na you also speak up for your fellow independent artists. So, ano yung journey mo from starting to where you are now?
So yeah, I'm same with Abs. I've also never been signed to a label actually, but I have worked with labels. I love collaborating with labels, major labels or indie labels or any kind of artist, kahit they're signed or independent. But for me, I think I learned early on sa journey ko of music na I really like being independent. I've never gone corporate like with my music. I've never had to make jingles or stuff like that. But I do respect people who make music in the corporate world. But for me, it's just hard to do that. I think it's because at an early age, like right after maybe within my teens, I was already growing up with independent musicians who are my peers at the time, and I was raised in a very DIY environment. So since college, I was part of this music org, and we would organize gigs in school in UP. So I kind of learned early how to do things for myself, how to support my friends who are also artists, how to book them for shows, how to set up a sound system for them. So it's like I feel fortunate enough to have experienced that DIY environment of having a community, growing with a community of independent artists na I really enjoyed it. So from then on, I just kept going that path na DIY till you die talaga.
Often, I guess nga, when you say like fortunate, sakto rin na nahanap mo yun agad
Yeah.
within your like artistic career.
Mm.
And parang you're just strengthening that decision.
Yes.
Ikaw like Nick, kamusta yung process mo? As a producer, diba? It's not just working on your own stuff, but you're also helping out.
Yes.
So, kamusta yung sa'yo?
My independent roots really come from the fact that when I was growing up, I studied classical music. I studied jazz music when I was living in San Francisco before. But I played guitar in high school, a very young age, for a death metal band called Animosity. And the whole point of metal is how extreme can you do something? It's really cool. Me being independent, I kind of have the choice to, let's say, for example, the new Barbie Almalbis album, Pop Star, something like that. How can we do something crazy to hers? I put in my sort of influence with I was like kind of the first person to put a blast beat in like a Barbie Almalbis song, which is pretty cool. And then she said yes to that. And I don't think like any conventional label would want that, because they want quantity over not only just the quality, but like also the sincerity of the artist as well too. So it's really cool being independent, because I feel like I can kind of do what I feel.
Ganun din ba experiences nyo? Like, yung level of collaboration now feels equal lahat?
Well, I think it's hip-hop kasi it's very different. Hip-hop kasi medyo culture, eh. Diba? Industry is the industry. Diba? It's a business, which is maraming tao and artists na hindi nila naiintindihan yun. That's music business. This is culture. Kami yung culture. Diba? This is business. Parang tindahan lang yan. Kami yung produkto. So, like what he said, in collaboration naman, like me, I collaborate with 0 guys. From 0. I don't really care. Parang, I get like, I don't wanna sound like parang braggy, no? But I have like parang big names who wants to collaborate with me. Kung, di ba, yung mga idol nila, yun yung gusto makipagtrabaho sa akin. But parang para sa akin, that's so fucking easy. Parang super basic, di ba? Big name, okay, I'll work with this guy. Tapos, di ba, Moro Beats is working with it. That's super easy. Pero syempre, coming from independent background, parang para sa akin, while we're creating, hindi ako si Moro Beats, hindi ako si DJ Medmessiah, si Mohammed lang ako. Ikaw si Jason or si Jenny Lynn, di ba? Saka tayo magiging somebody after nung product natin. Kasi yun yung magsasalita para sa atin. All these videos and fucking neon lights in the background, di ba? It's like, parang, yeah, that's nice, di ba? Pero at the end of the day, yung parang substance, gaano siya, magtatagal ba siya? O parang trend lang siya? Kasi fast pacing na tayo ngayon. We are not like, di ba, yung parang 1 week, wow, trending. Tapos, duma ka na. Di ba? Parang ang bilis. So, hindi lahat ng mga artists parang ganun. Madali lang para sa akin mag-develop ng artist. Pero yung parang sticking to yung patience nila hanggang saan ka, masusubukan ka. Kung hanggang 20 years, hip-hop ka pa rin ba? Or are you going to switch to pop dahil it didn't work out for you? Doon mo makikilala yung artist. I'm not boxing anyone, di ba? I'm almost 50. I'm still doing boom bap, di ba? Hindi ako tumigil hanggang sa fuck you guys. Kami yung boom bap, di ba? Parang ganon. So, for me, nagigets ko, like, we can say na parang we are all independent as creators. But when it comes to business, no one is independent. For example, Spotify. Ang may mga shares sa Spotify, sino? 'di ba? Big three labels, 'di ba? Dinala siya sa Senate hanggang sa bumaba siya, he had to sell some of his shares. So, ibig sabihin, for us, hindi talaga tayo parang independent business-wise, 'di ba? I'm not here to like parang, alam mo yun, labels is the same thing. So, dahil nauso yung independent, all these big labels, mga major labels, they buy in. They would create like sub-labels, kunwari independent. But at the same time, all these big companies, yung footprint nila is still there. Diba? Siyempre, going back to that, parang I would really like advise like artists to study their commerce, yung business nila. Kasi creating is good, pero without fuel, wala. May hirapan ka. You have to pay. Siyempre, independent ka, you have to pay for your own videos, your marketing, di ba? Parang it's not enough na, pinost ko na, okay na yan. Abangan nyo na lang, di ba? Parang, we all know it doesn't work like that. Some of these guys, they boost, di ba? We try to do it organically, parang, okay, kung okay, di okay. Kung hindi, hindi. Di ba? Yung mga ibang bagay, like let's say, public performance rights, di ba? A lot of these artists, they don't know about that. How to get your mechanical performance rights. Where can you earn?
So important to learn these things, actually.
Right?
It really is.
And
It's
then,
so important.
that's the time when you're not earning, you cannot create. Tapos, that's the time na bababa ka sa posting na, I'm depressed. I think I don't want to continue anymore, di ba? And some of these guys like us, for example, I'm from Mindanao, or maybe you guys are from Cebu or Visayas, di ba? They go back home. Kasi most of us, we come here kasi nandito yung sentro eh. We come here, okay, Manila is the center, nandito lahat ng labels, di ba? And I think, like nowadays, all the information is out there. They can learn it. I hope that, alam mo yun, they learn it. Diba? Especially in hip-hop, everyone is like flexing, diba? Yung mga gold chains and all that shit. And then when they go back home, they're eating pancit canton still, diba? Parang, kasi flex lang yun eh. Nasa flex culture tayo. Parang mas maganda rin sana kung they know their business, diba? Merch. That's where you can earn. Spotify would, or Apple would pay you parang 0.00 tapos 12. You need like billion streams.
What is it now? Like, you need to have like 10,000 streams to even earn like a cent or something like
Yeah.
that?
Wow.
Yeah. It's a really fucked up industry, to be honest.
It's not lucrative.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not. Diba?
So for like you, August, yung sinasabi ni Med, did you have to learn it the hard way? Given nga na all the information is online, how did you learn what you needed to learn?
I think, like I mentioned kanina, never been in a major label or anything. And then I got offered one, like this independent label na Sobrang Showbiz, right? So, and I was like, I was really torn because, I don't know, I kind of knew what that would entail. Parang where, especially in my realm, R&B, right, neo soul, where like, okay, if you look at the musicians in my scene, it's very like pa-sexy. Sorry, like for the lack of better terminologies here, but it's very like, oh yeah, like write about certain topics, usually about love, and it's very limited to that. You have to look a certain way. You have to like look, ano ba? You cater to like, you know.
Parang medyo objectified.
Yes,
ka,
there you
right?
go. Yeah, and I didn't wanna be like that. I'm not like that. So yeah, I had to learn, you know what I mean? So I had to protect my art. Sorry, what's the question again? Can you repeat
I
that?
guess well, binabanggit mo na rin, like yung mga hard lessons nga that, I guess, because nga sinabi ni Med na, lahat ng information for artists to navigate yung commerce, it's there. But it seems like ikaw,
Yeah.
yung hard route yung
Yeah.
experience mo.
It started with, okay, so when I got offered that, it started with, I want to own my masters.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to own my masters more than
Dapat.
anything. I'm not giving that to anybody. So I was trying to figure out and researching how to go about that for myself, right? And here in the Philippines, in our industry, we don't have proper music business laws or anything, right? So when I got handed that contract, I was like, this doesn't even apply here. This is like sa US. It's like
Yeah.
that does not apply here, right? Like there's no way for me to own my masters. So I don't know. Parang one thing led to another. I was talking to friends about it. One friend knew this guy that was geeking out on music laws, like teaching, just geeking out on it, like how to what's mechanical rights, what's publishing rights, da da da, blah 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 blah. And then we met, and then that's kind of how like that started. Like me learning it and whatever. Like he really educated me. I was very interested. He helped me craft my contract and everything. And yeah, I just learned so much from it, And from that experience, I was like, wow, this is so valuable. Like a lot of the artists, and even me when I was starting out, I was like, imagine if I didn't know this. I still and I'm trying to reach for, a certain height, if you will, or whatever, or like be more be more public, be more sikat. I don't know the term is.
Visible.
Yeah. Parang I really need to, and knowing like that I want this, na parang I don't want to be used, I really need to protect myself.
But even yun, parang in a way luck or chamba na connect ka to this person who was teaching you.
But
about
I was
it.
asking the right questions
Okay.
already,
That's
So
good.
parang I think I had the framework now, or parang I had that type of thinking now, and then that happened. But I was searching for answers. I was like, how do I protect myself? How do I own my masters?
Okay. I will transfer that naman kay Ali na. Because nga, the lane that you chose was DIY culture talaga. Yung thought nga that they were talking about, okay, how do I make this sustainable financially? Or do you not think about that na? Parang kayo talaga, it's more about the craft and the DIY of it all.
No, actually, part of DIY culture naman is trying to figure out ways to make it sustainable. Like, with my friends before, who organized gigs, like, we would initially do it for fun because we were young and like more reckless and more driven. And then when we got older, like that's when reality hit na, okay, how do we make this sustainable? And what really helped us was like support from fans and people who supported our music. So like parang it's also kind of building a relationship na like before we would do regular gigs in bars, and that was possible because of support from the bar owner who also became our friends, and like people who were working at the bar, and then people who would regularly go to the gigs. So parang it's kind of a gamble in a way. So it's like it's also like what DJ Med mentioned na you really have to eventually learn these things na that are basically survival. Na parang how do you keep this going? There are times na we get lucky and then we get a lot of ticket sales and stuff like that. But in the end, mahirap talaga siya. Like parang, yeah, you're reaching this point where you can sustain it, but there will always come a point where you're really gonna struggle if you choose to do DIY. And parang I feel like for me, all those times are still worth it, especially if you're doing it with like people you love and collaborators that you really admire and basically your friends. So parang I would choose to do this. Parang mas pipiliin ko na yung matalo with the community or with my friends than matalo with like, bigger stakes, bigger money and stuff like that. Parang it's higher risks for me. So yeah, parang ganun lang.
Has it gotten easier for you na the more you've done it and the more people like you find support from, or same lang yung hirap with every gig or
Parang
every
yung,
project?
well, for me personally naman, yung I get to survive because I make music for films. So like I still have like this freelance job on the side that is not my personal art or music, but also a part of that is still my work and my art as well. So parang it's like hitting all these like sweet spots na you're like what Abs mentioned earlier na you can compromise but not to the point where you lose your soul and you give up so much of yourself na you don't feel good about it anymore. But there are times na like iba yung stress kasi iba yung stress with being an independent musician and you know that okay, some things are your fault. And iba siya compared sa stress na you're working with corporate clients and you really feel like a slave. So parang it's like you choose your battles in a way.
I think with Nick yung idea of compromise na kasi I guess there's this either to conception or misconception na medyo behind the scenes ang producers. But for you, ano yung, because nga it's behind the scenes or whatever, ano yung mga compromises that you make that maybe people don't see?
Oh, I'm like mega, super mega behind the scenes. Like, I don't think anybody knows who I am. But like, I've been part of so many things just because I've been so, game to do stuff with that artist. In my case, it's kind of the way that has made myself sustainable in order to, raise a family, have like, be able to sustain a marriage with like 2 kids who like don't stop taking dumps and eating and stuff like that. It's like, oh my God, and then they got school. Oh shit, dude. It's like, you have to work with that musician. And it's what makes people in the industry see, like, hey, not only is this guy easy to work with, but he's got some crazy ideas too. I think, coming from the fact that growing up, I did want to be a rock star. I did want to be like Nick Lazaro, like super, I'm the guy on the front page. But then I slowly realized as I grew up that like my calling was different. Being able to sort of, I wouldn't say like inspire, but maybe like give sort of like my knowledge to those artists that do have the potential to become like the next big thing. And then me knowing that like I kind of had a part of that is fulfilling in its own right.
Medyo personally yung mga answers niyo, but I kind of wanna paano do from a macro perspective nga na from everyone sa panel, ano yung nakikita niyong like biggest challenges today that the industry is facing?
When it comes to?
I guess yun nga, parang how do you sustain this career? And ano yung mga challenges that are blocking you from doing what you want to achieve?
To be honest with you, man, I'm at this point where I'm reminding myself that I'm in it for the music and I don't really care where that takes me anymore. Maybe I did have a dream, but then like learning about the industry, it's really like undamaging factors to consider and talking about like what's worth it and whatnot. You choose your battles type of stuff. And then at the end of the day, for me, I just want to make music. I don't want to stop doing that, So am I going to sell my soul and compromise my art a lot, or keep my integrity as a musician, as an artist? I think I'd do the latter.
So are you,
Yeah.
sige, medyo deep yung
Yeah.
nabanggit. Do you mean like you're just doing it regardless of any
Mahirap yung
project? Like gagawin
sustain-
mo lang?
I mean, yeah, of course, because I think that's who I am,
Okay.
like that's me. But yes, let's talk about sustainability. Mahirap talaga siya. I think if the goal is gustong sumikat, what are the factors here? Like be global, be like, be that household name for this specific type of genre. I mean, us as a country, ang daming talents, like we're so talented, you know what I mean? But I think what makes it harder here is the frameworks, like the frameworks in the industry also. Like yun nga, parang these labels and damaging factors. You guys want to chime in on this?
I think a lot of independent musicians have the thing that they are most challenged with is just really the knowledge of how the mechanics of the industry works, I guess. I mean, I don't know if it's still the stigma na like, oh, I'm gonna be like a huge star and then I'm gonna be rich and famous. But then, I mean, like, they also have to understand na, okay, they'll make the music. They make the things that make them feel good, but also things that people will want to listen to. There are people who will look out for those things, and then they will try to get them to be part of them. Like, hey, we're like this X label. We think you're super sick, and we have this idea that we can work together. We will do this for you and that, and then you will get this and that. The biggest problem is that they don't really know for real what those this, these, and that's are. They're just so set on, oh, I'm gonna do this when it's gonna make my career so good because I'm signed now. But also what's different too is the stigma of the business in itself is like totally different now.
So ano yung stigma na yun?
It's like, I don't want to get in trouble, but then it's sort of like, before it used to be when the label would look for the talent, then like the label would be the ones to promote that artist. But to me, it seems like they look for these people who are like super lakas in like these social media things that we don't even know about. Like, I don't know, TikTok, what am I gonna do? Like, yeah, look at me, you know, but then they have like 1 billion followers, right? Then they'll be like, hey, why don't you come here and then, you know, be yourself, and then let's slap on our label name on your Instagram, and then we'll get your likes. You know, so it's kind of like, who's doing the real promoting? But then at the same time, it also comes back around too. Those labels are actually also investing in the productions of those artists. But then that's where it becomes a very gray area. They either produce the whole thing, and then you don't have to pay a cent as the artist, but then they get all the streams, or there is some sort of like allocated budget that can be either really cool or really ridiculous, and then you can work out within the paperwork as to like, hey, how much do I get, you know, per stream or whatever, and do I split this with people? There are like so many things that these artists don't do before they sign.
Yeah, I get what he means. It's like, if one of the biggest challenges for Filipino independent musicians now is that if you want to pursue a career out of music, you can't really, it's hard for you to just focus on the music. Like, you have to know all these things about survival, about rights, about licensing and stuff like that. And even if you're gonna sign to a label, you have to know certain things to be able to negotiate with the label, things that you want, like owning masters and stuff like that. But that's the problem, is that nobody really teaches these things. So like, a lot of, like, even me, when I was starting out with my band, indie band before, like, I didn't know about any of this, and I had to learn them the hard way. So that's one of the challenges then. And it's also like, we mentioned social media, so that's like a really big challenge now, like catching up to the algorithm, or even if you do want to catch up in the first place and be visible. And it's hard for like people like me who are actually trying to stay away from social media sometimes because it's overstimulating. How do I promote myself as an artist, diba? There are a lot of things to do it, like alternative ways, but it's just, the market is just so saturated right now, and people really kind of put the prime on being famous. And I don't judge any artist who, especially in the Philippines, who say that they want to be famous or they want to make it, they want to break it, because that right now being famous equates to living off of your music. Because if you're not, then you can't really survive.
I have something to say about that.
Go lang.
So like, I have artist friends, right, where super sikat, and then just finding out that they're also not earning. You know what I mean? So like, for me lang, I don't think that's parang being famous equates to like
Financial success. You know,
financial success. Yeah, it really like, it's No, I just wanted to add
Or
that.
it depends.
Oh,
parang,
it really
yeah.
depends. Like, nakakagulat, to be honest with you. Cause like, you know, like social media and everything, it's really like branding now, right? Parang, okay, you have to like perform authenticity or market your authenticity and like brand that and like what you mentioned about like having that brand and then like, I mean, sorry, labels will get you because of that. You know what I mean? It's insane. It's so much, ang dami.
It's,
There's
ano,
a lot.
it's number games yan eh. It's like, even with record labels, you don't get to sit down and have a conversation if you don't have the numbers. People think na parang, tangina, magaling ako kumanta eh. Mataas boses ko eh. Kukunin ako ng mga labels. No. They don't understand na parang hindi ka nila gusto. Hindi kayo magkaibigan. You don't have a relationship. The only relationship that you have is your numbers and their numbers and what money they can make out of you. Diba? They don't like you. They don't like if you're gay, you're Muslim, o kung whatever background you are, kung satanic ka, they don't care. If you have the numbers,
If you pull numbers from being that.
we're friends. Yun eh. And sa tingin ko yung mga, like even me, ako nung bata, di ba? Parang, yeah, I wanna do my music, di ba? I'll become famous. I want people to hear my music. That's your first goal. Kasi you're still naive eh. You haven't seen the industry yet, di ba? For you, it's like, fuck, man, I just wanna make music, di ba? But on the other side of that conversation is like, where's the numbers, di ba? It's always the numbers. Parang, like, even with us in our experience, di ba? We don't have that, that numbers eh. Kasi our music is more like parang activist and, di ba? We don't have that much, but we have impact, di ba? People can see us. It doesn't match the numbers na meron kami. It's like, parang, okay, we have 500,000 followers. When you set up a concert, wala pang 10% yung pupunta doon. That's when you know na parang, okay, that's only algorithm. It's just hype, di ba? So most of these new artists, when they come in, they don't understand what they're getting into, di ba? Before you sign. Because labels they're not here to educate you about their books.
No,
No.
not at all.
That's their accounting. They're not gonna show you that. They're not that stupid, di ba? So for us, like in our experience, parang we don't really care kung pop ka or whatever music. For us is parang we wanna see ano ba yung mga things that works with these record labels. That's why I signed into a record label, not to be famous. Magkakaiba tayo eh. Like, for me, I studied it. Parang, what the fuck are these guys doing inside? Diba? How are they making their money? How does it work? How do they promote? How do they market? Which people? Okay, these guys. And most of the time when you go inside, parang maraming stupid people din inside eh. That is working na hindi rin qualified sa loob. That is telling you na, you have to do this, to do that. That's when you see them like, fuck man, if you knew this, why the fuck are you working here? Diba? Parang magkano ba yung sweldo mo? Parang 40K, 30K a month? Why the fuck are you sacrificing your 9 to 5? If you really know what you know. Diba? Parang, and then at the end of the day, they're just gonna boost it. What the fuck, dude? I can do that. Diba? Parang, so it's either if you're independent, study it. Diba? Mahirap maging independent. Like, it's depressing. It's tiring. You have to shoot your videos. Imagine, diba, you're an artist. Back in the day, parang, okay, I will hire you. And then, diba, okay, ikaw mag-iisip ng angles. But nowadays, it's like, okay, put your phone here. Diba, parang, you feel like, fuck, man. Even me, when I started doing live, diba, I had like, siguro, like 2 people watching me. I don't even know the fucking way how to shout out people. Kasi I felt like weird. I'm making my production tapos, hey, shout out to Di ba? Parang, I'm in the zone here. I have this loop, I have these ideas, di ba? The strings that I wanna put, and then I have to shout out kay ano. Di ba? It's disturbing my, parang
Your
my
flow.
musical zone. Parang, and then you have to learn, di ba? Because that's part of the business, di ba? Parang, even though ayaw mo, imagine mo if there's like 1,000 people watching you. Then everyone is saying, shout out, shout out, shout out. And then parang, it doesn't make sense anymore. Like parang, okay, I have to shout out like fucking 600 people before this, and they're not even going to share it. Diba? Some of them, they just wanna fuck with you. Nasa live, oy, mukhang Bombay. Or something. Alam mo yun, oy, Arabo. Diba? Ganun eh. Ganun na yung society natin ngayon eh. So, being independent, like for example, you're doing R&B, soul. These guys, neo soul, they don't even understand the genre. Not everyone, diba? Parang when you say neo soul, ano yung neo soul? Yun yung love song, R&B.
Yeah, ganun agad.
Diba? They don't know. Boom bap, hip hop, rap yan. Flip top yan. Diba? Parang marami pang ignorante sa atin when it comes to genres. And imagine mo if you compare it to being ignorant with music business. Being independent na you have to do a lot of things. Siguro parang ang take home ko dito is parang alamin mo yung nakikita mo sa record label, hindi yan siya lahat even. Kung hindi ka natuto nung nandun ka, yun yung bad luck. Diba? Parang yun yung malas. We have to learn from the mistakes of the old people, diba? The old guys. Kung ano yung mga mali na, okay, nag-sign ka dyan, perpetual. Diba? Imagine mo, you're 90, you're retiring. Uugod-ugod ka na. Bro, you have to be parang nasa beach ka na lang, or you have your property, di ba? You're living quiet. If you wanna do a gig sometimes, di ba? Parang hindi to dapat, parang astig yung tignan eh. Parang in a perfect world, like, wow, he's 100. He can still play the guitar. But it's not like that. By 80, may arthritis ka na. Or, di ba? So, it's more on like parang in our part parang okay, ano bang kailangan natin? Ano bang mahal dito? Anong pinaka problema? Problema is production. Okay. I had money.
And the funding also.
I'll buy my speakers. Dahan-dahan. I'll buy my mixer. Hanggang sa independent ka na you can hire. Di ba? Okay, this is my music. Kasi we don't have ang Filipinos, we have the concept of bayanihan. And then we forgot about it. We're so Americanized na parang, contractual lang tayo. It could always be bayanihan na, hey man, sound engineer ka. I can give you 5% or 10% out of this equity. Video ka, I can give you 10% out of this royalty. And this is perpetual. This is residual income, whether you don't need to do anything anymore. Parang every quarter you can earn. And you're part of it. You own part of it. Kasi it's the same system with the label, but it's 90% against 10% or 85% out of 15, di ba?
Yeah.
Kung you own 50%, why? Ang minsan nagiging greedy tayo that we don't want to share.
Yeah.
And build our own contracts, and we can hire lawyers, di ba, na entertainment lawyers na parang, okay, paano ba namin mahahati ito as a corporation? And then we're paying taxes as one. Kasi labels, like, they're gonna charge you taxes galing dun sa royalties mo na 12% lang. Imagine mo if you're earning like 1 million, meron ka 120,000 minus the tax that you're paying. Tapos ipapadala nila doon. Pagdating sa'yo, parang mga 90,000 na lang. Diba?
Yeah, like I agree with DJ Med na parang we need to reinforce those alternative models of music business that are not capitalist and more bayanihan. Kasi I think in this day and age, parang it also kind of parang lessens the drive for other people to take on roles that are not necessarily musician and who are also equally important. Like sound engineers, managers,
Yeah.
Agent, yung mga accountant, they are also part of the ecosystem. And parang for them, like, they don't get to see these other ways of doing it na more bayanihan and like more DIY na you're all making this music, you're all making art and events and like these moments that are not just about money and profit and like business, diba? So parang I guess yun din yung isa sa mga challenges sa industry na I guess we have that lack of knowledge with the general scene and community na these are the things that ought to be done. These are the right ways to do it, that people don't really see other ways out of it. Na parang, oh, I can be like something else pala. I can be like a gig promoter, not just a musician, di ba? Parang,
So I think yun yung, before we wrap up, like yung questions ko, given all of that nga, meron bang genre or community na napapansin nyo sila yung parang example ngayon? Like sila yung gumagawa ng mga best practices. Napapansin mo ba yun? Like, with what you're doing sa DIY, nakita mo kung paano nila ginawa to. Like, how do we emulate that? Or
there are a lot. It's more like pockets eh. A lot of collectives are doing it. There are independent labels who are doing it. And ang mahirap lang din, they are also struggling to sustain these things. So parang, I don't know, like maybe we should, I mean like conversations like these are good and like conversations among independent musicians kasi like that's how we do knowledge exchange and how these collectives can help each other out, parang solidarity, ganun. So, yeah, like, ang hirap lang din kasi there's no institutional support.
There
There's
you
no
go.
government support.
I wanted to add that.
Walang base for those groups and pockets of alternative models to really reinforce themselves. Kaya minsan natatrap sila lahat sa struggling to survive.
Add ko lang din, no. Like in Canada, they have parang government funding. Kung meron kang plan, in US meron din silang
Australia
ganyan.
has
So
it. Everywhere
Philippines,
else.
we don't have that. Parang kung meron man, I don't know, but
We do, but it's hard. It's like, yeah, it's hard. But they won't necessarily like support like modern, contemporary, art or
so maybe
type of music.
if it's parang traditional with the
Traditional,
kulintang,
sure,
and,
yeah.
okay, we'll bring you to parang
Yeah.
they don't believe siguro in pop or hip hop or kung ano man genre.
Yeah.
If it's out of the alam mo yun, the traditional music, masyado pa tayong parang matanda talaga when it comes to parang music di ba? Pero like I said, no, minsan marami din akong gustong i-address but mareklamo kami sa Moro Beats This is our fucking job. We were placed here to make reklamo but in a realistic way, no. Marami ring artists dito sa Philippines that ayoko lang din parang mag-name drop but these guys know who they are. Like for example, sa mga public performances or sa mga royalties na members ang mga artists, di ba? Marami ring corruption na nangyayari dyan sa loob We always think na it's just the government, di ba?
or yung labels.
Oo, or yung labels lang. Meron din, like for example, like mga public performance bodies na nandito sa Philippines, no? If you do the math, diba? Like let's say radio stations. All these radio stations are paying 100,000 pesos license for AM, FM, Jollibee, basta lahat.
Wow.
So imagine mo, if we do the numbers, this is billion industry, di ba? buo yan. We have 7,100 islands, right? Ilang Jollibee meron sa isang island, sa isang city? Ilang Mercury, ilang McDonald's, ilang, di ba? Yung pa lang, doon pa lang, di ba? Tigo 100,000. Billion yan, di ba? Minsan nagtataka ako, parang why is everyone, like let's say Philscap, no? I'll just name you guys, fuck it. Di ba? Life is short, so what? Di ba? Parang, bakit ganon? Like sometimes everyone is getting parang the same royalties. If you get 5,000, you get 5,000. And sometimes parang they're taking advantage na parang, oh, pandemic naman. If you fucking give these guys 5,000 pesos, they'll be happy kasi walang concerts, walang... Man, that shit is wrong, di
They're
ba?
really not transparent too.
Oh, and when you ask, saan galing tong royalties na to? Kasi if you're an artist, you have YouTube, di ba? You have Spotify. If you're distributing somewhere, you get that royalties. And then if you're a member of Philscap or whatever, ASCAP, iba pa yun. Di ba? So parang minsan, like us, Moro Beats, were fucking 25. Everyone is a member, and then, bakit pare-parehas tayo ng royalties? I have more catalog than these guys, di ba? Parang, minsan, di ba? Tapos paglagpas ng 10,000, we have to pay taxes. And we have receipts, we comply. We pay taxes, even though naglalakad kami sa kalsada, tangay na nagbabayad kami ng tax, di ba? Kaya kami mareklamo. But, parang, there's something not right, di ba? With all of these licenses. Iba pa yung online license, ha? If a radio station is playing like Facebook, iba pa yung license na yun. So, parang yun din yung mga question ko. And I wanted to address big artists na parang, minsan sinasabihan ko sila na parang, bro, sana isa sa inyo sumama rin na magsalita with us.
Yeah.
Para sa next generation. Kasi tayo matatanda na tayo eh. Diba? Like, if you're 50 now, maybe you have 10 years or 12 years. If swerte ka. None of us will reach 80 or 90 or 100. That's impossible. Nowadays. Diba? So, parang bigay na natin to sa mga next gen. Hindi na dapat sila tanga-tanga katulad natin before. Tapos na tayo na yung example eh, di ba? We have to give them the proper guidance, the proper earning, how to earn. I-shortcut na natin para sa next generation kasi this shit will not survive if we don't teach them.
Yeah.
Di ba? We're not here forever. So, parang yung mga ibang artists ina-address ko na baka, di ba? I don't wanna name them kasi ayoko kayong pahiyain. Hindi yun yung ano ko dito na parang maging bida. But sana konting konsensya lang, di ba? Hindi porke binababayaran kayo ng mga royalty bodies ng 2 years in advance or 3 years in advance because they do that. Parang yun yung pangtakip sa bunganga mo eh. Parang shut the fuck up. Oh, here. 2 years, 3 years na royalties. Because they can. They're big artists. Eh. Diba? And sana you guys speak up. Yun lang yun sa akin. And, you know, learn about this. Learn about how you're going to live. Kasi ito yung magiging buhay mo if you're a full-time artist. Study your business. Own your masters. Get your royalties. Diba? Get your publishing straight. Hire a good lawyer. Get a good manager. Shout out, Mike. Yun. And we will thrive. Diba?
Exactly into last question, Gwen, it's actually for the panel na, what would you like the labels or artists or even your audience to know about yung realities nga and how to deal with all of the relationships that you have to deal with as independent artists?
Yeah, I guess stuff outside the music as well. Like, I also mentioned having a relationship with audiences and parang hitting that balance between making the audience realize that like for example when we do like DIY gigs, you have to make the audience realize that they are supporting the thing, that it is their money that makes the event and the artists thrive during that night or during like a series of, you know, like gigs that you'll have a relationship with this audience. So parang it's a balance between that, making people pay, but also setting up a price that's affordable for them. So that's what I meant about having this relationship na I am the musician, I'm the one who brings music to you, and you're the audience. You're basically the one consuming my music, but it's not just like, it's not in that music business approach where it's like, if it's a really, really big artist and then the consumer is just the consumer. But if you have the chance to have this relationship with the audience, then that's the best thing. Kasi you can have these conversations with them, you can set ticket prices, like you can offer merch and they will buy it. Yun. So like these are just like one of the some of the alternative like practices and models that a lot of independent musicians are doing and have been sustaining for the years. Kahit mahirap siya, onting push, at least nasusustain pa rin siya.
Wait, sorry.
Yeah.
May I say something? If I had something to say to like musicians like mismo, like don't be afraid if you guys don't become like rock stars. You guys are still musicians. You guys have talents within yourself that you don't have to just keep for yourself. Like if you don't become that famous guy who makes money like making the music, you can help out others who have the same aspirations with your knowledge, and sometimes that can be like super mega fulfilling as well too. I mean, that's kind of where I come in, you know. And I'm not gonna say that, oh, like I super failed as like a musician. It just, maybe it just wasn't my calling to be a rock star. There's a reason. Like, what's the point of you having all that passion for music, and then like you're like super tampo and like you're like being lame about not being a rock star? It's like, what? You're still good at making stuff. You're still good at whatever craft you have. Like, share it, you know? Try to inspire somebody else. You don't have to be a huge giant pop star to feel like you've made it. If you feel like you haven't made it, use your talents. You're a musician. Don't give up. I hate it when people give up. They always say, oh, I'm not like famous now. Like, it's like, oh, how old are you? I'm like, I'm old now. I'm 25. I'm like, what the fuck? What are you talking about, dude? It's like, you're not old. Yeah, and then but like, yeah, be versatile. You're still human beings. You can do more than just be rock stars.
I also wanted to add, like, since your question is directed to label people and audiences, parang I guess like the perspective of music itself, like, because for labels, music is like a product, and then for audiences, it's like something consumed or like food. For artists, like, it's really a life force. So parang it's bigger than just a product. I mean, it's same with like, you know, like with the things that we eat and the people who produce our food. Like for us, it's just food. And then for the traders, it's just product, like itong palay na to or whatever. Pero sa kanila, it's also their life force. Like, it's what nourishes them. Yun yung lupa nila. So parang, pag parang pinahalin tulad mo yung like artists and let's say farmers or people who produce our food, syempre gusto mo may sarili kang lupa. Yun, parang ganun siya.
Ganda. I think that's a good way to end it. Thanks, guys. So I think the biggest takeaway here is hirap. Pero there are ways to get the support that you need, whether it's yung sarili mong kaya, researching online or through the different community. I guess yung solution isn't gonna come tomorrow, but yun nga, hopefully conversations like this and artists like yourselves really help push artist rights forward. Thank you to all the guests for being here, and thank you to everyone watching. This has been another episode of the Rolling Stone Philippines Roundtable. Join the conversation by following us online. This has been Jonty Cruz, Chief of Editorial Content for Rolling Stone Philippines. Till next time.